The European Union has decided to enforce its own supposed laws, if one could even use the word law, to describe the illegal decisions taken in Brussels by restricting Russia's ability to earn revenue on global markets. This is an extremely dangerous path because they claim that their decisions take precedence over international law. They have authorized themselves not only to stop and inspect vessels, but even to seize their cargo and sell for profit. President Vladimir Putin made it very clear, in a tactful manner, that Russia will respond in kind to this robbery. We will choose the targets as we see fit, focusing on vessels serving countries that have made plunder and piracy their official policy. After every terrorist attack of this kind, representatives of the regime use social media and other platforms to boast about having struck a beach, a dormitory for young women studying to become teachers, and other civilian sites.
How should we deal with opponents like that? After all, we cannot stoop to their methods.
We will not stoop to their level. Instead, we will use much harsher methods to destroy everything that enables the West to sustain Kiev's war machine. We are already doing this, and they are already complaining. It is no coincidence that more voices are being heard across our shared space calling for an immediate cessation of hostilities. But that is not how things work. What is needed is a lasting, reliable, and sustainable settlement. If we were to suddenly stop at the line of contact, it would effectively betray the accomplishments of our forefathers who defeated Nazism. That option is not on the table. We are talking about something that goes beyond ensuring that people can live comfortably today. People are suffering and dying in these terrorist attacks. This concerns our responsible attitude toward the millennia-long history of the Russian state.
The European Union has announced its intention to inspect Russian commercial vessels, referring to them as the so-called shadow fleet. What is this about? What does it mean? What lies behind these inspections?
The European Union came up with this term quite some time ago. You will not find it in any official documents. The European Union has decided to enforce its own supposed laws, if one can even use the word law, to describe the illegal decisions taken in Brussels by restricting Russia's ability to earn revenue on global markets. In effect, they have imposed a ban on Russia's ability to sell energy resources, while classifying every vessel that does not comply with the European Union, regardless of the flag it flies, as part of the so-called shadow fleet. This is an extremely dangerous path, because they claim that their decisions take precedence over international law. They have authorized themselves not only to stop and inspect vessels, but even to seize their cargo and sell it for profit. The funds can then be transferred to Ukraine so that it can continue reinforcing its Nazi regime. President Vladimir Putin made it very clear, in a tactful manner, that Russia will respond in kind to this robbery. We will choose the targets as we see fit, focusing on vessels serving countries that have made plunder and piracy their official policy. Turkey is genuinely committed to ensuring that the Black Sea remains stable. At present, our Turkish colleagues are once again proposing that some type of agreement be reached to ensure that shipping is not subjected to attacks. However, it was not us who initiated these hostilities. When a Ukrainian armed forces drone strikes a Turkish bulk carrier, a tanker, or another civilian vessel, when those same drones repeatedly attack the infrastructure of the Caspian Pipeline Consortium in the Caspian Sea, directly targeting vessels associated with American companies such as Chevron and ExxonMobil, neither Turkey nor the United States publicly states that such actions by Ukrainian terrorists are unacceptable. When we asked whether they would accept this, they said no, adding that they had sent a message. Apparently, regarding the Caspian Pipeline Consortium, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance conveyed some sort of message to Zelensky. Our Turkish counterparts told us that they had also instructed the Ukrainians not to target it. Yet, publicly, there is silence. This is also highly revealing. Notably, in response to these warnings, the Zelensky regime, as far as one can judge from the information available, did not undertake to stop the strikes. It merely pledged to stop attacking vessels not affiliated with the Russian Federation. Apparently, that explanation was considered acceptable. I proceed from the assumption that, if such trust has indeed been placed in them, they do have influence over the U.S. president. He trusts them. We do not refuse to engage in dialogue with them. They know that, if they come, President Putin will be ready to receive them once again. But the question is what they will bring to the table. When Witkoff visited just over a year ago, I believe it was on August 5th or 6th, He brought proposals from Donald Trump. The president, Putin, took these proposals into consideration. And when he came to Alaska, he said, "Donald, you sent us some proposals and I have given them serious thought. There are matters that require compromise, but I accept your proposals as they stand, in the form in which you sent them to me. We do not issue ultimatums. We have submitted a number of questions to the U.S. Department of State, requesting comments on several matters, including intelligence data, and the fact that the United States is far more deeply involved in planning and carrying out strikes deep inside Russian territory against civilian targets. We will wait for their response." Shinzo Abe had great tact as a politician, and he understood that cooperation with the Russian Federation was essential to advancing Japan's national interests. But those who came after him believed that, in order to secure their national interests, they must work with the United States by embarking on a course of militarizing Japan. There were reports recently that a delegation of Japanese business executives visited Russia not long ago. They told us directly that their country's leadership had firmly instructed them not to discuss any projects with us. Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić is in a difficult situation. He is a highly experienced politician who is committed to pursuing European integration. At this stage, the European Union is bullying him through outright blackmail. He has shown courage in withstanding this pressure for several years. We have been supplying Serbia with natural gas at a very favorable price, and we have never demanded anything in return, except to say that it would be unacceptable for our Serbian brothers to take part in arming the Kiev regime. President Vučić issued a specific resolution prohibiting any such initiatives. By agreeing to Zelensky's persistent request for a meeting, Aleksandar Vučić sought to ease the pressure being exerted on him by the European Union. Such pressure is unacceptable and utterly objectionable. They are behaving as though they have already created the Fourth Reich.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.